My name is Antti Loponen. I'm working at Vincit as a web developer, and it's really great to be here. And today I'm going to be talking about Ember.js. And first of all, I'd like to ask, how many of you have been working on single-page applications? Raise your hands. Yeah? How many of you have used Ember.js? Well, a few. How many of you have used maybe Angular.js? Yeah. Angular 2? 1, 2 maybe. React? Yeah, a bit more. Backbone? Something else? Yeah. Yeah, it seems that Ember.js is quite rare. So I happened to work on a project last year, and I used Ember.js on it, and I thought it had some good things that I wanted to tell you about, and maybe it could be an easy single-page application framework to start with, especially if you have been working with Rails or something kind of old-world web applications. Yeah, let's get started. I'm gonna code a small example application from the ground, just a simple CRUD application to show you how quick it is to get going with Ember.js and Ember CLI. I had to cheat a bit because the web here is so slow that I couldn't wait for the npm to load. It would have taken all my time, but anyway, I have initialized the new application, and now I'm going to just use the Ember CLI, which is a command line interface, and it allows me to do different things like initialize a new application, generate some files, and run tests or install plugins. Actually, yeah, I also installed SAS plugin and Bootstrap plugin.
Could you make the window a little shorter because we can't see the command line here?
Yeah. Just a moment. I don't know why the resolution is so bad.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, I installed SAS plugin and Bootstrap plugin, and now I'm going to just run the development server. And we can also take a look at the structure of the application. You can see here on the left, we have some pretty basic stuff like bower JSON and package JSON, and this is Ember CLI build, which is a build file for the front-end files for Broccoli, which is Ember's own build tool. And here are the source code in the app folder. You have controllers, models, and styles, and templates, and stuff like that. Now that I think we have the application running, we can go to the browser and see what it looks like. Yeah, it basically just says welcome to Ember. Now we can go to the main template and do something like welcome to the restaurant. I didn't say yet that my example application is going to be about a restaurant, and the idea is to save meals and their prices to show a menu. So now I changed the template, and it's already library loaded. And we can also change the styles. We have SAS installed, so we can do something like main color is bright red and put it on the heading. And we see now it turned red, so we have library load on the SAS as well. Yeah, let's put it back to something more normal. And now that we have the Bootstrap plugin installed, we could also import the styles. And now we have Bootstrap. Looks better. Let's do something like now there's a proper margin. This is the template. It's in the handlebar syntax, and this is a variable, and it's the outlet. It's going to be the outlet for any route printing something on their own templates. let's put something like content. So this is our main template, and now maybe we want to start creating routes and maybe loading some data. Since this is a short presentation and I have pre-made a small backend running on Node.js. So here's what it outputs when I make a GET request for all meals, and you can see the JSON here. It's not your standard JSON. It looks a bit different, and this is the JSON API standard. It's a pretty new thing, but Ember.js has been using it for quite a while. First of all, there's data attribute, and then you have a list of objects, and each of them has a type, an ID, and then a list of attributes. And the attributes are name and price. And now we have to generate a model for the Ember application which has a name and a price, so we can start loading data into our application. So let's actually go to the command line, stop the server for a while, and generate the model. G is for generate, and now we're making a model, and now we can go see how the file looks like. You can also see that we're using ES6 syntax, and this is all out of the box. It's Ember CLI which provides us with ES6 support, and all the files that it generates are automatically having some ES6 in them. So this is the model, and we now need to add the attributes name and price, so let's add them. Name, and it's a data store attribute, and the type is string, and price is a number. Now we need to make a new route, a list. And now we can go check out what we got. We have a route file and we have a template. Basically now we could already restart the server with an extra argument proxy. It will proxy all the backend calls to the different port where I have the Node.js backend. So yeah, let's do something with the template. We could add a heading, and now we can go to meal list, and we see the heading that I just added, today's menu. Now let's load some data. We go to the route file, and we need to add a model hook. It's basically a function, and anything that it returns will be used in a template with the variable model. A nice ES6 syntax function, and we're going to use the Ember data methods. We're going to find all objects with the type meal. And now let's put something simple like we have different meals, and let's see how that turns out. We have 4 different meals, and if we look at the JSON here, we have pasta, soup, sandwich, and burger, and that's 4 different meals. That was pretty quick. I didn't do I didn't write any REST calls, but it's all automatic. If we do a reload and look at the network tab, we can see here that there's a GET request to meals, and the response is the same JSON that we just saw on the other tab. Yeah. Now we could iterate through the list of the meals. Let's do a list. And now we're doing a handlebars each loop. And we're iterating over model, and we're calling each item as a meal. And for each meal, we're going to make a list item. And we're going to print the name and the price. and currency symbol. Let's see how that looks like. Yeah, now we have the menu printed. So now we have implemented the read part of CRUD. So let's do the create part next. And to do that, we have to make a controller. And actually, we could also make a component, which is basically a feature that can be used in different places. It includes a template and a controller file. Yeah, a form. And first of all, let's look at what we got here. Here's the component file. Here's the controller. And here's the template for the component. So let's start writing a form. And we put a field set, label. And now we're going to use a handlebars helper built in Ember.js. This is an input, and by default it's the text input, so we don't have to explicitly say that it's the text input. Value is going to be name, and let's put a class, and it's name. And now let's do that 2 times. Also for price. And let's add a button. Submit. And a nice bootstrap class. And then now we're going to bind an action. It's pretty simple with Ember.js. We're going to bind the action save, and we're going to do it on submit. This action will go to the component file, and we need to do an actions block here. And we're going to make a method with the action name. It was save. But now we don't want to write the actual action here, because we want to use the component from different places, and it will do different things from different places. So we're going to just give it as an argument, and we're going to call the function that we were passing as an argument. So that will be a function, and we're calling it. Now we're going to implement the actual save action here in the controller. We're going to do as well an actions block, and we're going to make the save method or function. And in here, we're going to make a new instance of a meal. Create record and the type, and then we're going to give an object with all the attributes, name and price. For this, I'm going to introduce a new object to the controller that we're going to use to pass the data from the form to the controller, and it's going to be called new meal data, an empty object, and we're going to basically just take the values from that. Name and price. And then we're going to just call save. And this will return a promise, so we can do something after we call save, and it's done on the server. And we can do something like reset the new meal data. We're going to set it as an empty object again. And now we have to add the component to the list template here. The name is edit form, and we're going to have to pass the object new meal data, and we have to also pass the save action. I think that does it. Let's see how it looks here. Oh yeah, we're not running the server yet. Let's do that first. something was wrong.
Was missing a colon after the actions.
Oh yeah, that's it. Well done. Yeah, you have to notify me if I do something stupid. Once again, something stupid. What is this? Let's try and okay, now it's working. Let's try and add something. Pizza. Now we have a pizza, and the network tab here, I think it shows that we made a post request with the data. Name and price, can you see it? No? Anyway. Yeah, and with the response we got the ID for it. And now basically we can do a page reload and we still have the pizza. Yeah, let's now do the edit part. I'm gonna make a new route. And a new controller. And for edits, I'm gonna just first of all I'm gonna do a heading. And then I'm gonna go to the list and I'm gonna add a link. And I'm gonna give an argument, the meal, and then I'm gonna close the link tag. I think that's pretty similar as what Rails has linked to, I don't know. Something's wrong. Oh yeah, I had to change the router, I forgot that. This is the router file and we have those two routes and now I want to have the path include the ID of the meal that we're editing, so we have to add that there. And now it will look better. We have links and we can click on the link and we already have the ID on the URL, and now if you reload the page, the network tab shows that we made a GET request with the ID automatically. We didn't even have to change the route file at all. Now we can just add the component. And we're gonna add the meal as an argument, so we have to add it here. And let's see if, no, we have to implement it in the controller, yeah. An argument and save, and we want to go back to the list after editing and saving. List. Yeah, let's see if that works. Yeah, we already have the form there, and let's change the price to 10. And now it's 10. Let's change the name. Pan Pizza. And the network tab tells us that we made a patch request just by calling save with an object that already has an ID. Let's do quickly the delete as well. It's called destroy record. And then we're gonna just do the same transition and we put it here. And then we're gonna go to the component template and add the button for delete in case we have it. A red button, and it will have the action delete. And then we're gonna pass the action to the component. Action. And let's see if that is working. Yeah, that's it. And we're making a delete request to the server. I don't know, it's somewhere. Yeah, there it is, delete. So now we have made a CRUD in just about 25 minutes. I had some simple slides about Ember.js. Well, open source has been around for 5 years, and the newest version is only a couple of weeks old. And Ember CLI is the command line interface that I was using, and it allows a lot of cool stuff like initializing a new application and generating the files and using ES6 and running tests and running development server. And Ember Data is the cool ORM kind of data library thing, which allows us to call methods directly on the objects and have the REST calls happen automatically. You can always override those calls if you want, but they're pre-wired if you don't do anything. And JSON API is the standard for JSON that they are using by default. There's also different adapters available, or you can always write your own. Some things that I've noticed, it's really easy to start developing from scratch because of these set helpers. And yeah, it's kind of makes you think MVC way. You're not going to write your logic in a template, and you're going to use immutable objects through the model. And it's going to make your API truly RESTful because the calls are automatically RESTful. And if your API cannot handle RESTful calls, you're going to have to do some changes somewhere. The documentation is pretty neat. If you go to emberjs.com, there's a pretty good API example for everything and source code for everything. And the community is pretty active, and they're developing it all the time, but there's also a downside that the development is so quick that things are being deprecated, and if you go to Stack Overflow and you find an answer that's 2 years old, it's probably going to have a deprecated component. And for example, the controllers are going to be dropped in future versions, and that's going to be a big change. Yeah, there's some DOM magic happening, which I don't like. Some additional classes and IDs and additional divs. And yeah, if you're not going to use RESTful API, then you're not going to do much with Ember Data. And it's not so widely used, so it's hard to get a team together. And finally, there's jQuery under the hood. I know that's a problem for some people. Anyway, that's it. You have any questions?
We have time for one short question if anyone has one.
I think I said it all.
Thank
Nothing
you,
to add.
Antti.
Thank you.